will have the first pick here in this third and final game. And the first lock on top of that, of course. The blind band phase, though, Jeremiah Ophelia, and then Tundra and Pebbles. So, really, I think that's even the exact same as the first game, if I'm not mistaken. That's how it went down. So, nothing crazy in there. And then right away, locking that Cthulhu font. B-Kid has done this a lot lately.
Yeah, I know he has, and that's kind of interesting. It did work out for them yesterday when they ran it against TT Esports. It worked out very, very well. Moon playing that did a great job in that suicide lane as they played him, rather than the bubbles that we constantly see Moon play in the suicide role. But yeah, the first lock, Cthulhu font, again, the blind bands Jeremiah Ophelia, nothing too crazy there. He did last time ban Jeremiah and Fade, and now actually tdM doing the same thing they did last game.
Deja vu?
Yeah, this exact same locks coming out from both sides.
I think this was the first game, actually.
Yeah, it was.
So.
And it was, yeah, sorry, not last game, but the first game. And I believe also Tempest was in. Yeah, Tempest was obviously in there, but tdM did it instead. And I don't remember if Bubbles was there.
I don't think Bubbles was there because I remember talking about it later on. Or maybe he was actually. Again, I'm not exactly sure actually, but this is again deja vu, definitely big time. Because like I said, I believe the blind bands were the same. The locks, at least the first three, started off the same, and even the Bubbles. I think actually he might have been locked by Complexity
Pablo
as
McDad
well.
played him in the long lane there.
Yeah. So, I mean, Trademark Esports, again, I'm trying to think what that sixth hero was. Nothing's really coming to me, but maybe it was more Axis, I want to say. I don't
We'll find
think
out in
it was,
6 minutes.
But yeah, exactly. I'm sure the community will be glad to tell us what it was in about 6 minutes from now, of course, with the delay allowing it to catch up. So, on that note, actually, I do get that question asked all the time. Just about figure I might as well reiterate here once again. I mean, why do we do a 6-minute delay? Well, we do a 6-minute delay because the ward asides last 6 minutes. So obviously, you don't want the other team to know where the wards are, even if it's at the very last couple of minutes. It still has an effect. So that's why we have the 6-minute delay. So since we're on that topic, but Silhouette is actually the first lock, and I don't believe she was the lock in the first game, but still, tdM going with the Silhouette lock, and we'll see how she's used now.
Yeah, definitely. Fade instantly banned there by B-Kid. Even though tdM did run him last game and they did lose, doesn't mean you can't pick that hero again. And now Dracon is banned by Minuts. I suspect Dark Lady might get a ban as well coming out from Complexity if they do decide. Well, I don't know. It's a kind of risky move. You got a lot of good first pick material coming out in that lock phase between Bubbles, Tempest, and especially Silhouette. So it might even be a smart route to keep that Mage Bane open. If you're tdM, because I could easily see. Well, actually, Mage Bane is now still open. The bans seem to be happening very, very quickly in this entire series. They know exactly what they don't want. So let me just go over them really quickly. Again, Fade, Draconis, Aluna, the Dark Lady, Nymphora. B-Kid really hates that Nymphora. I'm right there with him. And then Miraxix actually banned out by Minuts. Does not want to deal with that hero. And Moonmanor played a very, very good Miraxix last game. And it's just a very, very strong hero. No surprise that we see him quite often being played by Complexity.
Yeah, Galatius, once again, first pick by Complexity, just like the first game. So this isn't exactly like the first game by any means, but there are a lot of deja vu moments that we're having here. So we'll see how Trademark Esports now follows this up. Again, they could go the Mage Bane route themselves if they feel they would rather do that over the Silhouette, but it all comes down to, how they want to ultimately play this out. Maybe they'll wait for the third pick to go the Mage Bane, giving them a little bit more time to decide and seeing whether or not Complexity decides to go with her, or him in this case. But, yeah, so we'll see. You having me doing that,
I know it.
Bastard.
An interesting thing here is if they do pick up a Mage Bane early, that saves Complexity a pick in the lock phase. And actually, I'm not even going to talk about it right now because now it changes everything. Mage Bane is picked up by Complexity. One thing to note, though, is Ophelia was banned actually by, I think it was B-Kid. B-Kid did ban him. And right now we actually see a very Complexity-style lineup, which their solo mid, Glacius, Mage Bane bottom. And now we haven't talked really that much about what tdM did, but they have a Polywog, Torture, and now Behemoth. So very stun-heavy.
A lot of crowd control, yeah.
A lot of crowd control, right. Even a lot of pushing there between
Tempest.
Torture and Poly. So...
Shocker.
Yep, there's the Tempest, and if we don't see a Bubbles pickup right here, this is going to be like standard Complexity play.
Oh man,
right
yeah, I think they got to go like Silhouette Pyro here, or Silhouette Bubbles. I mean, I actually probably Silhouette Bubbles. Yeah, they could still use the Suicide Lane definitely. So
yeah.
I think Silhouette Bubbles probably makes the most sense here for Trademark Esports, and then we'll see Complexity. They've made Cthulhu Phone work, especially after not getting a bubble. So that's very likely how this phase could finish off. If Trademark Esports agrees with that. But they got plenty of time to choose, so might as well think about it here. Don't want to rush anything. Again, this is game number 3, Winners Bracket Final. So what that means, guys, the winner of this, they'll advance onto the Grand Finals, and they will be up or no, it's actually going to be 2 best-of-3s is how the grand finals is going to work, meaning the winners bracket finals team, whichever team wins this, they'll only need to win 1 best-of-3 in the grand finals. The losers bracket team, whichever team happens to come back from the losers bracket finals, they'll have to win 2 best-of-3. So obviously, if you want to get there from the winners bracket finals, and look at that, not only do they go with Emerald Warden Silhouette, but they give Bubbles to Complexity if that's what Complexity actually wants to do here with their final pick. And honestly, I'd find it a little bit hard to believe. I mean, granted, they have known to make Cthulhu Phone work too, but man, Trademark Esports definitely going different. Now, I will say, Emerald Warden, that silence can be very powerful against a hero like Magebane, so maybe that's some thinking there. But sure enough, Bubbles is the final pick.
Yeah, Bubbles, no surprise there from Complexity. Very, very standard lanes coming out from Complexity. I don't even have to talk about them. I think you all watching know exactly what's going to happen. Now, with tdM, there's a couple things to think about. I really don't like Silhouette and Emerald Warden normally together. It's just a lot of farm. Emerald Warden farms so damn slowly. It's unreal. Now, like you said, the silencing shot's very good against Magebane. Also, maybe they have thinking that they want to just completely screw Tempest jungle and trap that up. But Chessie's a good enough jungler that he's able to respond to things like that very, very well. And Tempest isn't like the worst heal to go walk into a new jungle. It's not like screwing over a Legionnaire and he has to walk over to a new jungle.
Yeah.
It's Tempest is has a little bit more freedom right there. So actually a pause coming out as Minot says every game. I'm going to say I know.
I know, right? Yeah, we talked about this. I first had you on, in fact, and it was like one of the first questions I asked you, remember. Apparently just a lot of restroom breaks going on, but it seems like we had a lot of those even in the last game and then before this game even started. But hey, nerves get the best of them. I know we do have plenty of people tuning in, and by the way, big shout out to everyone tuning in. And like I said, definitely start telling your friends, man. I mean, we're doing this on Honcast now, consistency and everything, and we are just having some awesome matchups as you can see here with this series. And with that said, again, so tomorrow it'll be a losers bracket match. It'll be who won? That was It's Gosu. So it'll be It's Gosu versus the winner of TT Esports Pikachu. So we'll be casting that match tomorrow. Then the winner of that will go on to play the loser of this. And then, of course, the winner of that will play the winner of this. So obviously, I don't know if that made sense to you, but if you look at the brackets at DreamHoN.com, it should hopefully make a little bit more sense to you. That's how double elimination works. But that means, of course, so tomorrow being Tuesday, and Wednesday we'll be finishing up the losers bracket, and then Thursday is when the grand finals is going to be happening, guys. Again, the double best-of-3. So minimum 2 games, but a possibility, if everything works out, of 6 games, actually, which would just be absolutely insane. But yeah, so here we are coming out of the pause, and we already see both teams kind of going out to the lanes now.
Now, I'm thinking right here, okay, I actually like the lane setup coming out from tdM. They're going to have a tri-lane bottom, a straight-up tri-lane bottom here against the Magebane and against the and this is what I talked about. We very rarely see people go up against Complexity in their short lane, but this is a hero makeup to do so between the hard support Torturer, the Behemoth, and then the Silhouette. And their idea, what I'm thinking, is that they're going to have Emerald Warden top solo against Bubbles. They knew that Bubbles was going to be suicide, so they're like, let's just pick one hero that we know is going to dominate Bubbles. And Emerald Warden does do that. But I really think a different hero that isn't so farm dependent and late game carry or mid to late game carry dependent would have been stronger. Something like a Demented Shaman. I think Demented Shaman actually would have been really, really good here. I don't think he was banned. And now the idea, though, is still there. And tdM's got the right idea. It's crush Bubbles with just one hero. You don't need 2. And actually some response might come. No, Glacius is coming out here toward the top river. But yeah, actually Emerald Warden is trapping his own jungle here. He suspects maybe it's some counter mind games that we talked about. He suspects that Tempest is like, well, they're going to trap my jungle. I'm just going to go to theirs. Well, nope, he just trapped his own jungle. Yeah. So we'll see what comes with that.
Well, I mean, you see Chessie, he is already up here at the tower, so if he was just simply denying, then he would just be back at the lane, you would think, and then going to the bottom lane, but he is up here, so it leads you to believe that maybe Chessie is planning on going aggressive jungle, and as you mentioned, those traps going down both right here and over here to the right, this could actually work out very well for Emerald Warden and Trademark Esports. So, yep, he is going aggressive jungle. So, talk about mind games going on. MindNuts definitely called it, man, and called it very well. Right now, we have a solo Magebane, but it's that tri lane down here. So, you would think Complexity may need to make some adjustments here as a result of this.
Yeah, and like I've said, the most important thing about tri-lane like this is lane control first, harassment later. So if they can get this lane up, they did ward this. It's actually, they warded it after the creep spawned. I don't really know about that, but they did ward this. If they get the lane control here, Magebane is going to get close to nothing. So that's what they really need to do. If they can still get this lane denied very, very quickly, that'll be very, very good for them.
And you see right here, obviously, it is still somewhat favor of Magebane. In fact, he hits level 2 right there. Still no creep farms just yet, but yeah, we'll see as he's able to work that. But you did mention they placed it after the creep spawn. They definitely had plenty of time to place it before, but yeah, it's very interesting. They waited till after, so we'll at least give one pull. Only a single stack, but still at least something for Magebane here to try to get some lane control back when it eventually gets pushed back up, as you would expect. But look in the jungle up here. Emerald Warden running into Tempest right now. And she does have Wolves. No silencing shot, though, but with Glacius coming over, best to probably fall back. But Behemoth comes in with a Fissure Stun. Not enough for the block, though. And Chessie will be fine as a result. So interesting exchanging going on here at the top lane.
Yeah, the Clarity as well as Glacius's health pot is going to be applied to Chessie, but where does he have to go to the jungle now? I believe that creep is actually, Emerald Warden's in a lot of trouble. The Bubble Shell Surf comes up, the silencing shot, and Emerald Warden will fall. So that's very, very unfortunate for Minuts, playing just up a little too far. It's going to be a big thing, though, if this creep spawn actually does spawn again. It does. I actually thought that one of the corpses was going to be there a little bit too long. I didn't check it, but that's going to be good for Tempest, because that is literally the only camp in this jungle that is not blocked.
It really is, and it just so happened that it happened just barely spawned. So, yeah, that's good news for Chessie, and obviously with that kill, I mean, Chessie is actually off to a fairly good start. Granted, he did get the assist, but still being involved in the kill is obviously the point. Now, actually, he's going to trap Emerald Warden right here. He's going to Glacial Blast. He has another Shell Surf coming in, and Emerald Warden once again a lot of trouble. Going to get creep blocked, and yes, he'll fall. Chessie picks up the kill, and oh my God, you really would think that this could not be going any worse right now for Trademark Esports, especially at that top lane.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's really harsh, and especially on a hero like Emerald Warden that just needs every bit of farm that she can get, because that hero is just so bad for farming. I wish it was a hero that was more early to mid game dependent, because you already have the late game with Silhouette. You don't need any more. And I know maybe they just picked her just for the sole idea of blocking those camps, but it's not really worth it. They're not, obviously, it's not doing enough because Tempest is getting a good farm, and Chessie already, bam, down here in the bottom lane, or bottom jungle, or her jungle, I should say. And she's going to do just fine down here in her own jungle, so it doesn't really counter her that much. And now with Bubbles having the good start, 2 assists, he's actually going to be able to beat this Emerald Warden in a lane that he should get dominated in.
Look at Silhouette at the bottom. Oh, no, Silhouette. Oh, my gosh. She still had aggro on the archers, and the health potion was used on her. You see right there going, what the F? But, yeah, unfortunately, you definitely still were being attacked, and he just assumed that they were going to stop attacking him, and they did not. So wasting a health potion right there, and he nearly died even. That was just a very strange, aggressive play there from Silhouette. In the end, I mean, it's fine, obviously, and back to farm he goes, but still, very, very interesting sequence. But you do got made, as you see in chat, he was even thinking of diving, and honestly, he could have gotten a kill. Might have sacrificed himself in the process, but that would have been pretty damn close. But Magebane is getting a lockdown. He is only have 2 creep farm kills. You got Silhouette, who's right now at 22-9. So obviously, Noob G, fantastic start so far. So really, you know, in that sense, obviously Trademark Esports is somewhat excited, but that Tempest, that Bubbles, they are off to a great start. They're going to get some momentum rolling, you would think, and then eventually free up the game for Magebane to start farming. At least that's the goal in mind, I'm sure, from Complexity. So, yeah, Trademark Esports, as happy as they should be about the Silhouette, by no means should they feel like they're in a very good spot right now.
Yeah, and again, I always talked about watch Noobg buys Ghost Marchers on every single hero. Bam, first item, got him on Silhouette, which is a hero we normally never see Ghost Marchers on.
Yeah.
But he still likes them. Now, I want to talk about how important support is in a game like this. Now, Franzi, a lot of supports will just be like, okay, they'll sit down in this bottom lane. There's nothing I can do. There's 3 down here. But there is something you can do. You go around the map, you find stuff to do in other lanes. If there's nothing you can do down here, there's no point you staying down here. And Franz, we saw him all over the map. He now has an Invis rune, and is going to go top. He found tried to get an opening mid, couldn't do it, going to try something up top. So that's exactly what you have to do if you're a support player in these more passive games. Just look for openings, not just in the lane that you started in, but all across the map.
Yeah, and you got that level 1 Behemoth, so Fane, I mean, literally getting very well. I mean, I think he has one creep kill as far as experience is concerned. He's still level 1, struggling a lot in that sense. Now they're roaming to the middle lane. They were spotted by a Ward of Revelation, but Witchslayer playing very aggressive right here. And in fact, he's in a lot of trouble. There's a great Fidget Block. Now it did not stun for damage, but it's not going to matter in the end. The tongue tie comes out on Pablo McDad. They're actually on Torture. We'll get credit for the kill. Granted, at the top lane, Kelfield even used, as well as that Glacius assistance, as you mentioned, going up there, being useful for the team. Sets up a kill. In fact, he gets it himself. So Emerald Warden continuing to struggle. Now her 3rd death of the game as a result of that.
Yeah, and this top lane is just a disaster. I mean, I don't even think that she can go up there again, but that's the problem. Like, say if this is a Demented Shaman and he's getting completely destroyed. I keep using that reference because I really like that hero. But just let's say that was a Demented Shaman, he's getting completely destroyed. He can just sit behind another lane and assist with heals or something like that, but Emerald Warden can't do anything. I mean, that's the problem with this hero. Now, again, you mentioned it's very good. The silencing shot is very good against Mage Bane, but I don't even think it's going to get to that point because she is getting just really nothing up here. And Bubbles is going to have... I have to think about the other way, too. Is Bubbles is going to have a great game. Moon Meander's got Steam Boots already. He's going to probably get a very, very fast portal key. And he's going to be able to roam around the map and be very effective in helping his team, while Emerald Warden's going to have to sit up here for a long time and recover some much-needed farm.
Speaking of roaming around, Polyblock Priest bottled up a Haster, and he was thinking of going to the bottom lane, but eventually turned around. Now, there was a Ward of Set, which was just placed by Franzi, so I'm sure that eventually saw him, and got them to play a little bit passive. So Polyblock Priest back to the middle lane. Now, he is level 6, so this is that mark, just as it is for Witchslayer, though, who is also level 6, especially level 7. If you can get that level 4 Graveyard to go on top of the Silver Bullet, that could pretty much be a guaranteed kill. Now, Polyblock Priest is going to use a Haster, though, running towards the top rune, was trying to maybe catch Glacius, who was roaming on nearby, but Glacius already falling back. He's going actually back up top. And is that Kelfield up? Yes, it is. So actually, Emerald Warden may be in a little bit of trouble here. Look at Franzi actually gets caught by the Wolf Commander, and he's forced a Homecoming Stone out. That was amazing right there. He got the Ward of Sight down, but that was really interesting as Polyblock Priest was coming on over, but not able to catch him. So unfortunate situation there for Franzi, but he lived.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good thinking that he very well would have died if he stayed there. I mean, the wolves were going to kill him. So he has to use that TP scroll, so good job by him, I guess, right there. But that's very, very unfortunate because, yeah, you were mentioning that Kelfield was up on Bubbles. That was a for sure kill on the Emerald Warden, for sure. Now, she does have boots, and she's going to do a little bit better in this lane. Bubbles definitely still has the advantage now. But, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, top rune is going to spawn. I say that because especially Witchslayer and Glacius were down at the bottom hoping that it'd be there, but it does spawn top, and it's an invisibility rune. Polyblock Priest is going to start heading up there, but it'd probably be best to not. Yeah,
she should have went up there earlier.
Yeah, if he went up there right away, then would have worked out. But there's zero vision for him, so
that is true.
I mean, the ward was just placed right there by Behemoth actually at the bottom, so really didn't have the information to work with, and obviously it paid out for the Legion team there. So.
Yeah, good point. I didn't see that, actually. My apologies. And also, you didn't know where the Glacius was. Glacius is actually top with that Invis rune that was top. And this Emerald Warden is going to die again.
She's pushing up, and Minuts is like, well, I'm dead. Yeah, that's the G's come raining from the skies as they should. That was just well played there from Complexity. And the Invisible, that's rune control for you. That's now twice, I believe, that because of runes especially, Glacius has been able to go up there and set up some free kills, actually, on Emerald Warden. Now, 4 deaths for Emerald Warden. I mean, he's farming 150 gold per minute, which actually isn't that bad. He's level 6, so especially for having 4 deaths. But still, he has 4 deaths, and he said the other side of the boat, too, is that Bubbles, I mean, already Steam Boots, another 1,000 gold saved up. He's honestly going to have a portal key here pretty damn quickly for long lane Bubbles. So
yeah, this is the hero that, when you have this kind of lane setup, that is supposed to get crushed by the solo hero, and it's the complete opposite. He's actually second top farm in the game, top on his own team, only behind here the Silhouette in the whole game. Now, a lot of pressure coming out into the mid. I think Limp feels it because there's 3 heroes just ready to pounce. Tempest does have his boots as well as the Ring of Sorcery, and then Glacius is up here on the top side, actually sitting on his own ward. Trying to gank here, but Limp realizes something's up, so good presence of mind right there coming out from Limp. He does have a Grave Locket now, as well as boots and a power supply, or sorry, mana battery. And he's doing quite well in the mid lane, actually, against Beakid. Beakid has yet to use his Silver Bullet, just hasn't found the right opening yet. But actually, he goes up top, so they're going to just apply more pressure. The Kelfield is almost up. It just came up for Bubbles. He's going to use it right there. Shell Surf in, you do Silver Bullet, or even just the stun. And Minus is 0-5-0. Oh, no.
I mean, see, that right there was like, okay, I mean, there's nothing that, literally nothing that Emerald Warden could have done. But obviously it's just it's a snowball effect. It's because of the horrible start that she's had. It's just going to get worse and worse, as strange as that sounds, already being 0-5. But really, Emerald Warden is not 100% useless right now, but she ain't too useful, to say the least, here for tdM. And that does go back to kind of what you were suggesting earlier with Demented Shaman perhaps being a better choice to something like that. But actually, Paulo Appreciate in the middle lane getting caught out. The Fissure's done trying to block a little bit, but not going to be nearly enough. So he was pushed by himself using the wards and got completely collapsed on. So I don't know about that whatsoever coming out from Limp, actually. Jesse's brother gets a kill, sure enough. That was just a very odd decision from Limp right there. I mean, it's almost as if he felt like that because they just ganked the top lane, I guess that he just thought he had a little bit of time, but they got there quickly, and, well, we saw the turnaround happen.
So he didn't even try to ward trap? He just threw wards?
No, he warded to simply push the tower.
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. Now, the ward from Fane does come out later than Franzi's ward here, so Franzi, if he's looking, has good intuition. He's going to see that that ward is there and can be able to counter that right away, so that's very, very unfortunate for Fane. And bottom, the courier is actually delivering a health potion. Magebane's actually doing, I mean, he's level 8. He has pretty much no fun.
Here we go again, by the way, at the top lane. It's nothing. Literally nothing that she can do.
She just needs to stop going to this lane, honestly. There's no, yeah. I don't even know what to say. You cannot just keep feeding that lane like that. Go to, even honestly, just buy some Striders, sell everything else, buy Striders, go to a different lane and do something. Because nothing has happened. All you're doing is feeding Moon. And now has, as a suicide bubble, so it was supposed to get destroyed, has his portal key 11 minutes in. Well, basically 12
minutes in.
Yeah.
He really even had I mean, he had enough gold, I think, for before that kill even, but he just wanted to get that kill timing-wise. So, yeah, that's huge here for the for complexity, of course. We see all right there, Franzi once again porting out just in time. Speaking of portal key, actually Tempest just picking up his portal key, going right for it after the Ring of Sorcery. So that's double portal key surprise now. That you would think. Now, I think it's safe to say if I'm tdM, I probably assume that Bubbles has a portal key, just how dominating he's been at the top lane. But Tempest, maybe not as much. I mean, we'll see if complexity can perhaps make a surprise jump right here. They are all headed towards the bottom lane. This could get ugly. Now, Silhouette is farming great. 353 gold per minute. She is level 7. They are going to fall back in time, so that's the good news. They had a ward of sight over here, actually, which is just about to wear off, so that's the good now. Something we really haven't talked about too much this game so far. Silhouette versus Magebane. Now, Magebane is getting completely locked down. He is starting to recover a little bit, but he's only farming 144 gold per minute compared to a Silhouette who's actually on her way to finishing an early Nullstone, farming 345. If you're tdM, I mean, is that at least something good? Like,
well,